So only two presidents have been Catholic in the history of America, Joe Biden being one and John F. Kennedy being the other. There were many people that weren't too thrilled back in the day about JFK. In fact, he had, as far as from a Christian standpoint, because of being Catholic, yeah, there was a time it wasn't liked because it came from the Church of England. But so did other ones. Let's not just single out the Catholic Church is the main one in the world. But even other ones ended up being under the umbrella of the Anglican Church. The Anglican Church being the Church of England. So, you go back far enough, you can understand why the Pilgrims, it scared them. Because they fled that. Why then they fled Harvard? Because they saw how Harvard was taking it down this divinity path. Any possible way to get people off of the true path. And the true path was not a building. Not saying that there's not a good point to going to church. People have fellowship there. They have, worship, all of that. But in AA, that was where I found, really, I saw it all the time, actually, though. I saw that miracle at work on an ongoing basis, and I've never seen it in church. Not what the church structure is, because God was building his church through each person. This big church of people, each person being the stone. The Catholic Church doesn't like that. No, because the Catholic Church is the government. Which is why you get your socialists and your liberals hating and not wanting this with the whole separation of church and state. This is in Rome. This is St. Peter's Basilica. What does it look like? So this is what I mean. How there's this animosity that I can understand to a certain extent. Okay, not majorly, but from the liberals or from the socialists. Even though I think the socialists are out of their minds, really, because they just don't have good insight. They want to look at like part of the truth, but not all of the truth. That the Christians are not Christians like me. I'm not into the church and the government being one and the same, but it already was. That's the reason why there was the Pilgrims. They fled this crap. They fled it. That's why America's history is so crucial in every way, because you can argue about the government and the parties and this problem and that problem, but it all ultimately, no matter what atheist wants to deny it, it all goes back to that very person called Jesus Christ. And everybody wanted to control the church. And the governments, the Roman Empire, and then here's the other thing. There's only two presidents that were non-denominational Christians. One, Barack Obama. I wouldn't really, just because he said he was Christian, he said a whole lot of stuff that wasn't true. The other non-denominational Christian was Trump. He was raised, I think it was Presbyterian, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I think it was, I know it wasn't Catholic, it was Presbyterian or Protestant. I think Presbyterian. But he said later on that he was Christian but non-denominational. And he's been in different churches, different Christian churches, throughout his presidency, or when he's gone to different services in the Christian many denominations. And then everybody else, 10 out of the 46 presidents, 10 of them were tied to the Anglican Church. A couple of Unitarian ones in there. The Bushes were, what were they? The Reform. I think George Bush W. Let's see. So this lists what denomination. What's important isn't just the denomination, but if you see where it says, Anglican, or Reformed, all of that. And I think Bush was what? He was Protestant. No, not well, it says on there. You can probably see it or screenshot it. Interestingly, it looks like Nixon was the only Quaker. I mean, he was a Christian, but a Quaker. They were some of the Pilgrims. So he goes back, Nixon went back to the Pilgrims. Interesting, because, Tucker just did an interview about how Nixon was totally set up. And I had done a video, I know that people loved Kennedy. But again, for people that don't know, JFK, before he got in, he was in the Senate, and he did Airlift to America. Just look that up. It's not like it's a hidden thing. Because of Airlift to America, Barack Obama's father came here. And then ended up meeting, Ann Dunham, and, well, the rest is history. Except that they went back to Kenya. Not going there. But yes, because what happened was the State Department did not want to fly in a bunch of Kenya students to go to the elite universities. But for so they went to Kennedy, and he paid for it. He paid for the first 2 flights. He's praised. It's not a hidden thing. He's praised for it. So he wasn't even president, and he did this. He just said, screw the State Department. But then Nixon, wanted to try to compete with that, and so it ended up being this supported thing, which nobody should have been supporting it. Why do you need to bring all these foreigners here when you're not even taking care of the citizens that you have in this country? Like, take care of your own backyard. Like, why can no president figure this one out? It's beyond me. Like, take care of the people in your own country. And then when you have that figured out, then you can go on and be, the king to the rest of the world, okay? Like, but first the nursing associations don't do this, everything that's expert in this country that decides everything don't even seem to know how to handle their own bullshit in their own backyard. Everybody just says, yep, socialized medicine's going to fix everything. The hell it will. Centralized medicine, are you kidding me? But these are the experts of the world. But it's the same problem I see in a lot of the presidents too. They want to cater to the rest of the world. Please put this country in order before going and catering to everyone else. It's just a simple biblical thing that, take care of your own backyard. Then you will be of more use to everyone else. Simple. So anyway, yeah, so Nixon is the only one I noticed on here. You can look down far enough. It's got like a start right in this row. See, I think that's Richard Nixon. Or is that Roosevelt? Pretty sure it said Quaker for him. So, but you can screenshot it and look at it, or just look online. So, but this is where it kind of all it got turned over upside down, is because in many ways you have the Catholic Church that is the state-run religion. Okay, you have the Catholic Church that's in many cases the worldwide religion. Okay, this is not what Jesus wanted. It was not. And the people that were not going to understand that are the people that will continue to listen to bishops, priests, all the people that went to seminary school. If you think that colleges are just the universities that have been leading people astray, think again. It's been your seminary schools too. Again, because Jesus said, the wicked one rules this kingdom. So I think long before he got in the universities, he created seminary schools and divinity schools. This was all that church meant to Jesus. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am among them. I saw that all the time during an AA meeting, or when I was, and it was no church, no altar, none of that. No, but we were gathered, even though some people came in as atheists in the beginning, they found out how true God was, because the 12 steps were written with they were based on the Christian values from the Bible. You yourselves, like living stones, are being built up as a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. Nowhere in there does it mention married. Nowhere does it mention the building. It actually says, we the people that follow Jesus are the stones that built the church. Why can't any of the churches figure that out?